Good evening, this is Devonna with Handmade with Heart by Devonna, and I wanted to pop back on here so we can finish our Patriotic doll that we started yesterday. I did forget to do a couple of things, plus I didn't have my mind made up on some of the rest of it. So this is her so far if you hadn't watched it yet. And we are going to finish her up, and I ended up changing her name. Just a little bit. Well, I changed it completely. You all guessed part of it. Some of you did, but I did change it up. So what we're going to do, what I have decided is, I need my glasses. What we're going to do, what I forgot, let's do that first so we don't forget. You know, when we put it over her head and this part's tacked up and puckered up and it just hangs down loose, well, you know, you got your sides. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna hot glue and quick and thick Titebond. I did not have this product when I done my Millies. Had never used it, but I do like it and it's great for fabric. So I think I'm going to use both the hot glue and the Titebond to go down. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to start under her arm, and you want to go down at least past her body. You could go down as far as you want on it, but I'm thinking that I went down about like that right there. But you can do what you and left the rest open. You just want it down past her body. So we're going to glue her down, glue the dress down. So I'm going to put her arms the way they're going to lay and pull the dress. Now I am going to put hot glue first to tack that so it will hold. I hope you guys have had a good day. I have had a good day. Had a very busy weekend. Greg talked me into clearing the clutter a little bit, and I'm glad he did. He was a big help, but it is a lot of work. And we're still not done, but we have made some leadway. I've got a couple of packages today, I think, and I may do a video on them. I think I got my fabric that I won. I had bid it on some fabric, just like little individual pieces of fabric that was a great price, and I do think that that might be one of the packages that I want that came today. So let's see if I can do this. I can do better standing up. So I'm just going to put a squirt of this down so far, and just a little bit of hot glue to catch it here and there to make sure it holds her good. Not just a little bit beads, all I did. And I'm going to hold that together. I've been trying to watch Mandy's Benefit today as much as I can. It's hard to do that when you're, you know, at work. I cut it on, but then of course I miss part of it, and sometimes I, you know, just can't watch no more of it. But I have tried to tune in and at least see what they're making and give them my support. Prayers goes up for her. I know that they're worried and scared and overwhelmed, but at least maybe this 3-day benefit that you all have organized is going to take some of the stress, at least the financial stress, away, because I don't care if you got insurance or not, it is expensive to have any kind of procedure done whatsoever. And everybody's insurance is different on co-pays and stuff, and at least maybe that'll take some of the stress off of her family. So I'm glad for that. Now I am going to try to be consistent and glue it, you know, within reason, exactly the same. I'm going to turn her dress around here and lay her down So what do y'all think her name is? Okay. Let's just, I think that's fine. As long as she got, like, she's got a shirt on, you know? So I'm gonna put a little bit of hot glue right there to pull that together under her arm. I won't be on here long, and I have decided that I am not going to be an aircrafter. I don't know if you all are okay with that or not. I guess as long as I'm not in a benefit, it ain't the end of the world. If y'all, especially if I'm not boring you to death, you might could stand to stay on with me a little longer. The video for this last night was about 1 hour and 16 minutes, and as you can tell, we didn't get done with her. And I'm sure it's going to be even slower. I thought about that today. I know I'm running my mouth while I'm crafting here, but I'm not having to, you know, watch the comments and stuff. So what's going to happen when I'm actually trying to watch comments and engage with you all and craft? We might be a 2-hour tour. I don't know. Needs to go down a little bit more. So we will just try it out. I don't want to bore people to death, and I know they got a life, but there is other ones that I follow that crafts longer than 1 hour. So we will just see. But what I'm going to do, what I meant to say, what I'm going to do until I can start doing my lives, I don't know if it's my service or if it's just where I have a video that's 1 hour and 15 minutes long, and then I'm trying to upload it. That when I do a shorter video, like my morning videos, let me find a straight edge to temporarily do that. It doesn't, I don't have any trouble getting it to upload. But I'm finding that anything over about 40 minutes is taking quite a while to upload. Like the one last night, I couldn't get it to upload till this morning. And my phone even died while I was, it says to leave your phone open. So mine's set to shut off, you know, shut down, go to sleep or whatever at 5 minutes, or lock. And so I took that off, and Greg asked me, he's like, why have you got that still? And I'm like, I'm trying to get this thing to upload. My phone ended up dying before I got it completely uploaded. So I do think I need to think about that moving forward. I'm gonna just leave that for now, and if after, when I get done, if I feel like her dress needs to come down a little more, I can always do that off the camera. So but what I'm going to start doing, if I feel like it's going to be an hour-long video, I'm just going to stop at 30 minutes and say I'll be right back, and then stop it, and then just keep working and start it back, and then post one at a time and say part 1, part 2. So kind of watch for that. If you see something that says part 1, part 2 to come or something, just know that the video is not finished. What I chose to do for her neck, instead of doing a bow around it, I mean, there's all kinds of things you could do, and where this is not primitive, of course I didn't do the cheesecloth, but I just took a bunch of different fabrics and basically just tied them around her neck, and I want it to droop down on one side. And I think her big star is going to be red, so I think I'm going to use a smaller blue one to kind of like embellish around her neck. So let's put that there and hold it on her neck for just a minute. So I made a decision today. I think I've told you all, I've worn contacts since I was a teenager. And then, of course, I'll be 55 in a few days. And I was a late bloomer on needing bifocals. I was like in my later 40s. I was blessed with that. So when I started needing the bifocals, I just got them to put the bifocals in my contacts. And I didn't have any trouble with the bifocals in there, and that worked fine. And even at that point, it was only like, I had cataract surgery almost 3 years ago. So I'll be 55, so I was 52-ish. The reason I had to have cataract surgery at a younger age is I have had a lot of bronchial issues my whole life. I've had pneumonia and bronchitis and all that good stuff, and my lungs are weak. And I usually, when I get sick, it's always in my chest, and then I have to end up taking steroids more times than not. And that will cause you to have cataracts. So I had to have cataract surgery kind of early for my age. And but before the cataract surgery, I was probably like 45, 46 before I needed bifocals, which was a little bit late. I could wear the contacts, take them off when I got home from work or at night, and still, you know, when you lay down and you're looking at your phone or scrolling or whatever, I've done pretty good with seeing without having to have readers. I just kind of would have to hold my phone a little bit different. Didn't have much trouble with doing that, and that worked fine until I had the cataract surgery. And he told me, he said, no, your up close is going to get worse after the cataract surgery. So after he done it, I have got 20/20, almost 20/20 vision now. But the up close vision, he is right, it intensified how bad it is. If I don't have a pair of readers in every room of the house, I'm all over the place looking for them. I lose them at work. I would not be able to see to do my job, or if somebody come and wanted to show me something, I would not be able to read it. So I have to have these on my head. Greg wants to get me the granny strap to hang them down, and I won't let him. But I've been thinking about it for about a year, and Greg thought I was crazy to consider this. But it is hard because all day long I'm like this right here. Because these cheap readers is almost like having a magnifying glass. It's, or like, you know, the pop bottle lenses when people's got really bad vision. It's not the same as my husband's bifocals in his prescription glasses, if that makes sense. It's a different kind of look, and I guess it's because the whole thing is the bifocal. But it's a little bit annoying, and I'm constantly all day long doing that. So I thought about it for the past year, and I did give my eyes a break because I wore contacts, you know, ever since I was a teenager. But I decided in the past few days, especially with me doing this craft done live, I was actually starting to get a little concerned about when I do the lives and having my second device and being able to see comments and trying to craft and putting in things back and forth. I called my eye doctor because I've not had an eye exam since my cataract surgery. And, you know, you probably still need to have your eyes checked every now and then. But I decided that I'm getting contacts. So I called and asked that lady and talked to her and asked her if that was crazy for me to consider that. And she said no, that she has several people that does it, that I think somebody in her family's a teacher. And he chose to do that when he had cataract surgery because where he uses so many different devices. And, you know, it's just annoying. So I go next Friday. It's going to cost me a couple $100 because I don't have vision to get an eye exam and a contact lens exam. And then they're going to include in that price will be one set of contacts. And keep in mind, before the cataract surgery, I had bifocals in my contacts. So I am familiar with how that feels, and you do have to kind of get used to it a little bit. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I know it might be a little silly to some. My husband especially thinks I'm crazy for even considering that, but I think I am going to like it. Okay, so I think what I try to do is to come up so far on her dress. We want it down lower, but up kind of. I'm thinking, I'm looking at Millie over there and trying to decide. I'm thinking somewhere right through here on this side. They get a little pretty dress out. I like this dress. Now here's the one thing I wasn't sure about. I don't have any wood stars. That's not the primitive shape. But I painted it red, so I'm not grunging it up. And we're just going to go with that. I hope that's okay. I think with painting it, there ain't nothing wrong with incorporating a little different style on the star. And I think I'm going to put her, or hit right there. And I changed my mind on the yo-yos. Only because, you know, they're not that heavy. but they are fabric, and I couldn't figure out what to use for the stem. Me and Greg talked about it, and he came up with the idea of using the pipe stem things, but I don't think they're strong enough to hold up the yo-yos. And I decided to do a different thing. So let's make sure I'm not forgetting anything. I've got her dress hemmed. I've got her bow around her neck. Her star on. If I do forget, just know that I'll do it. I tie wire around her neck and leave it a little excess. That way, if you want to hang her, you can hang it by the wire around her neck. And or if you just sit her up, the wire ain't gonna hurt to have it hanging back there. But I will be putting a piece of wire, and so she'll hook onto something if you were to hang her. Cause I mean they're pretty to hang off the wall. Okay, so trying to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. I'm still on the fence about the hair. Some of you suggested moss, and I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. But how much do you put? What's it going to look like once I glue it? I'm just not sure about it. So this is again where I wished you were here with me. And I'm not sure if this is going to work. But you kind of want her hands hid. That's why that other star kind of came down, because where it's tied together. And then I need to trim that one just a little bit more. You kind of want that hid just a little bit. And just putting the flowers with the green. See what I've done is I just got maybe a little bouquet. But I still felt like just gluing the bouquet, and you can see all that green. I don't really like that. So I think I'm going to glue it. And then I'm going to wrap fabric around it. I don't know. To try to hide the whole hand and the bottom of the stem. I think it'll be cute. So let's put that even with the bottom of her hand. So if I do have my little Patriotic auction and she sells, I may have to get me another table runner, because I do like her a lot. I remember when I, first started watching lives and stuff, Michelle with Michelle's Crafty Crafts, she does an amazing job, don't she? Did I lose my favorite? She was making something one day, and I just felt like it was absolutely gorgeous. And I asked her, I said, I need to cut that a little bit. I'm like, how do you let this stuff go? Because you make it and it's beautiful. I would be wanting to keep everything I made. And she kind of laughed and said, well, she said, if I really want something, I can always make two. And I know one crafter that I used to watch, she would make two, one off camera to practice, and then one on camera. And then she would auction off the one, and she would have one for herself too. So, but if you don't sell the one and you buy enough stuff to make two, then you're out that much more money. So, I'm not sure if I should tie this off and not glue it, in case somebody else don't like the way that I've done this. They can do something different. I may just temporarily tie it and see what you all think. And then I can always come back and glue it on. But I was just thinking, like I said, to kind of hide her hands, her fingerless hands. Not sure. So what I'm gonna do, because we may come up with something different. I like getting your all's input. And I'm gonna leave this kind of as long as that other side, even though it may look stupid right now. Let's cut that instead of rip it instead of cutting it, so it'll be a little ragged. I better be hurrying. I'm at 20 minutes if I want to keep this under 30 minutes. See, right now, I don't have it glued. Put you back up there just a minute. See, I was just thinking to scoot that as far up on her hands that's together as I could. I know that don't look right hanging down this low, but can you see how I've got it around the base of the flowers, covering both of her hands? So you'll have to tell me what you think. I'm gonna take it off so you can see it without, and you'll know what I'm talking about. See how that shows the stems of the flowers and it's wrapped around with that? I feel like it needs hid. So I need the input on that, and I'm gonna lay that to the side. Do need to lay something to get her arms to stay down better. So let's go ahead. I think all I lack, just trying to figure out how much I cut on this before. I'm thinking, well, we gotta decide about her head. I don't know what to do about her hair. I'm afraid if I hot glue that moss on the top of it and don't like it, then I'm gonna regret it. So basically, I'm just gonna take a piece of wire and put up underneath of that collar of her scarf thing. And I'm gonna twist it, twist it, twist it. I'll end up cutting this off, but I'm gonna twist it, twist it, twist it first. And then, I think I tied it like a knot and left an opening and then twisted it again. Because you don't need a whole lot to be able to hang it on something. And then I'm going to twist it again. I'll show you in just a second what I've done. Sorry, I don't mean to keep hitting your head. See, you just got, can you see the wire? Well, it's kind of, can you see it now? It's just that got a hole in it. And that way you can hang her like that if you want to. So, start down here, some embellishment on her rag necktie thing, her bouquet of flowers. What are we going to do about her hands? And then the last thing that I just don't know what to do. And I tried to look on Pinterest to kind of see, and you could make a whole big bunch of hair. I do not want to do that. But what would it look like? And if we glued it on and then whoever got her didn't like the hair, could you pull the hair off? Probably not. And repaint it? I don't think so. See, I like moss, but I hate it because it's so messy. But I guess if I did do it, I would just have to kind of hot glue a little bit. And kind of, do it to where it comes down a little bit. Trim that edge off. And just glue it kind of at the glue so all this kind of stays together. And then just glue at the top of her head. Of course, we don't want that hanging down, but you know what I mean. And just kind of glue it to the sides a little bit. I kind of like it if I trim her hair a little bit, maybe glue it on first and then give her a haircut. But now, with that being said, do I put more back here? new to me. I don't know. If I do this, do I need to glue a little bit more back here, just down a little bit further? All right, so decision time. Does she keep hair? If she does that look okay for the most part, and add a little bit more to this bottom part? And what do I do about her hands? Do I put the ribbon around on that? All right, that is going to be it. I think that's good enough either way. And I like her like this. I mean, I like her bald. I know she's not primitive, but I do like her bald. And the last thing we've got, watch me, can't find it, is her name. That is hilarious that I can't find her name. All right, Devonna, what did you do with it? Because I've already made my pretty label. Here it is. I've got a pretty label. I'm going to keep it covered up. And I don't know if it'll be backwards to you all or not. When I'm doing these videos and recording them, when I put a word in front of you, is it backwards? When I rewatch it, it's not. So, I do need to put that up under her scarf and her name. Put you back over there. I do think I tied it up a little. I do think it needs tied up just a little here, but I'll do that in a minute on the back. Can you see it? Lady Liberty. Meet Lady Liberty. Ain't she just the prettiest? All right, enough about Lady Liberty. I think she turned out cute. I'm happy with it. Like I said, I'm going to tie that around the back so it don't, because if I leave it down, it's going to pull down like that. I think it looks better putting up just a little like that maybe. So I'll tie that off on the back. You all can tell me what you think about covering this green up here with something. I mean, could you put just a little bit of moss on it to hide that little green? Should I get another flare and put some flares down here? The fabric? I'm trying to think of different ideas. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you think. I've enjoyed it. I enjoy making these. I think they're fun. And I'm trying to make sure I haven't forgotten nothing. We've seen her dress up. I think it's good to go. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Again, this is Devonna with Handmade with Heart. If you're catching this and you're already following me and supporting me, I'm very grateful and thankful. If somebody shares this out and you happen to see it and enjoy my content, I would love a follow and a like. With that being said, we'll just do 3. I know this is the second part of last night, but this still will go along with sharing for the Happy Mail. So we'll have last night's, tonight's, and then if I do one Friday, I'll total all 3, because we of course have to share the final result of Lady Liberty. So we'll just do all 3. So if you'll share her out, sprinkle her out, and tell me what you think. I do appreciate it, and I love you guys. Have a good evening.